Okay, ladies, I'm going to try re-record this video. The first time I did it, it didn't work. So hopefully this is a bit better. What I want to talk to you about is annotating primary resources now that you guys have lots of primary resources coming in. One of the things I guess that's really useful is in booklet 10, we've provided these instructions to you in written format. So first thing is that um, in your annotation, you need to be able to answer these questions basically. So this is a bit different to the secondary sources because when you do the secondary sources, we get the purpose and that sort of thing through your analysis. This one, we ask you to be a bit more specific because you're going to analyze the answers, but that doesn't necessarily give us all of the evidence that will help you to show your thinking. So first one is the purpose of your primary research. What do you want to get, or what did you want to get from them? Were you going for, as it says, expertise, personal experience? Were you trying to confirm something? What was the actual purpose? And high-level responses will tell us that you really get the point of that interaction. And then as you're working through the questions, you'll be giving us some ideas around I guess the method and the intention and who you sort out and how you sort them out. So these 5 dot points here, I'm not going to read them to you. You can read, you have the booklet, are covered in the annotation example. Now, like all annotations, not every single heading is relevant for everyone, but what I guess you want to really be thinking about, sorry, probably hear Sherman in the background, is that you still do your key information, your quotes, all that sort of stuff, where you'll have your interview question, you'll explain the purpose of the interview question. You might have done that elsewhere, that's fine. You'll have some of the key quotes of the answer, and then from that you would have an explanation where you'd be telling us why that was pulled out, just like in your secondary sources. The other things that you'd have is, like we said, statement of your purpose and a methodology. So how did you get in touch with them? Tell us how you actually developed your questions. How did you actually get through this process from step 1 to the final actual interview? You might have some evidence of how you changed your questions or maybe how you changed your interaction in some way. And you might have some evidence of interaction as well. This, I think, is important because it shows that it really did happen and you get credit for that. But you also have to think about your space. So, if it's just like a little email grab, that's fine. Maybe if it's like a text message, that's fine. It doesn't have to take up a lot of room. And it might be something that once we've verified that your interview actually did happen, that we would actually ask you to cut it out later. But have it there because it's useful. Survey data graphed is really useful. Gives a snapshot, shows us that you can work with data. Interviews where you've summarized things or maybe you've looked for patterns, that can be useful as well. The rest of it's the exact same. Yeah, there's no surprises. We're asking you to cover headings that relate to your mark schema. So as we know, sometimes it's hard to talk about things like ethics and capability. It shouldn't be difficult to do that for interviews because it should be quite different to what you were thinking for other things. It doesn't have to look like that though. I mean, we've got a really good example here of people who have used the comment boxes and summary in a different style, totally fine. But mainly you've got to think big picture. So there's lots of materials here to help you. Please use them and remember that as long as you can show us that you're developing your learning, you're doing the right thing. Okay, there's no magic right or wrong response.